Alright, so you see I got a lot more done. This is crazy how this is all building. There was a building right there. That's just crazy though. So yeah, so Dillard's still has that lower wall. That lower wall still what's left to Dillard's. But it's just interesting now that I'm gonna go right over to here. Probably see through there now. Yep. So we'll go on to see the next part here. It's like I said, it's just very interesting that this is the mall at one point. Yeah, it's just interesting how it's the mall one time. And a lot of people walked inside of there. Yeah, it's just a shame though. I keep saying it. Shame they couldn't let me get in there and record a little bit when they started. Also, I think it would have been cool. Or just be able to go in overtime. So we'll see what the other side looks like. So I just noticed up here is kind of interesting how that little section of wall right there. Sorry about any kind of shakiness or anything. So I kind of did this a little earlier today. Pretty much got up and got the bike together and said, let's go record Metro. Yeah, a little tree in the way right there, but still don't have electrical box again. It's just crazy that this was a mall one time. I'm not sure what that thing is, but I'll find out when I get over there. Everything's so different. Yep. Little by little, it's going away on next part. But I figured I'd get this perspective here, a little different. Over by the buffet place. I get better perspective, a little better over here. So, like I said, sorry about the shakiness and stuff, because I'm holding this above my head right now. Yep, so get over this part on the other side of here. Yep. On to the next part. Kind of curious what's going on the net side where they're doing most of the work at. So just interested in nothing here anymore. Crazy. Yeah, so now I see what that one part is. I couldn't figure out that part right there. Now I see it's part of inside of what's left of the mall. Wow, that is just crazy. On the next part. Yeah, so that's kind of interesting. There's this little section of wall. It's like, I wonder why that's still up there. Because you figure right here, it's gone. That's all gone. And you got this little weird section of wall, and then over here, it's all gone. Really crazy. Yep, so yeah, eventually this will be long gone. Like I said, I still think it's a huge waste. They should just brought the mall back. I know it's about money and crap, but it's always like the wrong way about money, like greed-wise. It's never about what's good for community or decent for community. They think they're doing something well here. No, it's just about somebody making money. So like over here, so funny, you see the old skylight there. That is interesting though. So I get one more perspective, like I've done before over here. I go down in there somewhere, get one more video, and then around the other side of the building. On to the next part. Just thought I'd get this a little farther down just from where I was at, because I just came from over here, so. But I don't know, it's just going at a little different angle. It's a little more, sucks there's trees in the way. Of course, they'll probably tear those out, get rid of those trees. So, yep, so right here. Interesting. And over here. That's just crazy, this is where the mall was, the malls. There's not plural, there's only one. So, yep. See what other shots I'm gonna get. We're gonna do one more shot up here. Yeah, it looks like they kind of got a little bit. We got more done over there. I'm looking right there. I see the equipment and stuff moved. Looks like they've taken more of the parking there. So we'll see what happens from this point. Up in here. Yeah, no more. Sorry about the weirdness and shakiness and stuff. A lot of people that come to this mall over the time, you know. It's just crazy. Yep, so I'll go over here and see what's up over here on the next part. Sorry about the shakiness and stuff, but it just happens. Just getting older. Over to there now on next part. All right, so I'm gonna do the little perspective like I've done before on the bike again today. And of course, most of you watch the channel, or watch the channel should know what bike I'm talking about. I'm supposed to be able to put more on the technology coming up too. Nah, it's just a shame. All of that money back. There's some pile of stuff there. Oh yeah. I can really see it right here. We'll stop down here really close. Right here. Trying to do an adjustment here. There we go. One of these years will get me on. Get a decent camera. Yeah, that's interesting. That's interesting. Right there, that part right there was part going into the Sears. It's just crazy how this is all gone. So we'll cruise up through. I just think it's interesting this was inside the mall. That's just crazy how that was inside. Really interesting. A lot of people walked that. I know it did. So on to the next part. We'll go up here. Let's leave this recording. Oh, get a bunch of debris right here. So we'll come this way. A little farther back perspective. So yeah, so it's going away. So I got one more perspective, of course, the normal deal on the other side. So you can see that second floor. Oh, I can see the second floor right here now, actually. I realize right there. So, yeah, we'll go around the other side. Not much left of the video I'm recording. Of course, there's not much left of the mall now, looks like. Oh, that's too funny. I didn't realize this. I just noticed this. Right? Where's it at? Yeah, right there. Right there. There's a little four things sticking up. That's the other side of that entryway. At the lower part, right where the stupid light rail is. Or the crap rail, I should call it. Because that's exactly what it is. So, we'll go right on the other side of there. Record the next part. On for now. Sorry here at the sign, which isn't going to be around much longer. But yeah, this is at the end, so as you can see, there ain't much up on this thing. A lot of it went away. Took a lot of it off. Like, you see, Walmart is new. The food court, even though it's long gone. But let's get over here. Sign there. So yeah, so right near the storage at the back entrance coming towards the main entryway. I'm sorry about the sofa factory. Sorry about that being all in your face kind of thing there. Yep. We have to go over here where we'll go up over here, and then I'll go to the main entrance. See what's up there, and then the last point will be back at the transit where I showed you at the beginning. So, a little bit more to record, and that's it. All right, and then there's that second floor that I've recorded over time. I actually see it here now. Bring this back a little bit. Yep, so then there's that little weird section of wall right here. Yep, record up there again. Yeah, it keeps saying shame it's going away though. You can see all kinds of stuff in here. Little sections left. That's just crazy that was the entrance many people went in and out of. I know I did, to go into Sears. And I'll go up here. Next point. Yeah, there's that escalator. I wonder if there's any other. It kept saying I don't know. Probably is. Because it wouldn't make sense to just bring one out. I'm sure they brought the others out like that. I wonder how many other escalators in that pile right there. That's what I'm kind of curious. Yeah, it's a shame that some of these trees are in my way though. But yeah, they'll get rid of them eventually. They'll tear them apart or tear them out. Oops. Yep. So on to the next part. It's real interesting though. All that down there was the parking area, and then that little thing right there. Yeah, that's what's left of pretty much the back entrance there. That little round thing. That's really interesting. So I'll go up to check out the front and see what's up. Okay, so this one here, it's hard to see it though. Oh yeah, you kind of see in there now. And I get this sun glare and it doesn't help. Yeah, so just interesting though that it's kind of hard to see it from the camera view, but I'm kind of seeing there though. Yep. Yeah, I can see it from out here. It's weird I can't see it on my camera though. Maybe because the sun glaring. So, I don't know if there's a way to look it out or not. Look, it's interesting. There are doors there. I don't know how well I can see in the camera because I got the sun glaring in my eyes right now, so I don't know how well you can see in there. Just sometimes it's really difficult with shooting this and trying to see what I'm seeing here, so yeah. Someone tells me they're probably going to keep the Harkins though, to revamp it. But, interesting. So I think it's even back here. There's the bike. But yeah, so I think it's just back here. Get back, trying to go back there maybe. Just cause I've never been back here. If I ever want out, just cruise up there real quick and just get it. And that's interesting. They have these. This is what is left of actually the original JCPenney. This dock right here, and these little things. That's actually what's left of the JCPenney. It's interesting that they tied that little dock, old dock set up into the storage. Interesting. Essentially, how they have that there. I don't know why, but yep. So let's go down here. That's a shame because I could squeeze through there. I know I could, but I'm not going to. So what we'll do is we'll do this instead. Put my hand in here. There we go. Nah, you can kind of see in there a little better. That is just crazy though. Sorry about the shakiness. Sorry to help that. I'm kind of going around the fencing here, so that is just interesting. I can see inside of there. I was inside of the mall once. That is really crazy. I don't ever run where I don't know how good it's up of a perspective it is. I really don't. I don't know. It's like I said, it's kind of hard to see where I'm recording a lot of times because of the sun. But this is interesting though that this was the main entrance to the mall. That's what's interesting. Of course, those are the things that I pointed out on the other side. Sorry about the shakiness. The other side with the 4 things sticking up. Well, that's what you're seeing. So they're coming up to this point next. Crazy, all the things are knocked over. All those things. That's just crazy. This is what's left of that mall. The trash can gets emptied over there. Hey, they can't believe they're letting the trash can get full like that. It's just weird to have these things here. But yeah, so there'll be one more perspective, and that's going to be from the distance. Yeah, I'll go back here real quick and see what's up. So we're like dumpster. No, that was a compactor. That's right. Trash compactor there. And I've never been back here. Some back entryway that's blocked off the old storage thing. Let's see. It's in here. Yeah, back entrance to the mall. Another storage thing. Oh, look at that door. Wow, that door's like off. It's like pushed out. Yeah, they got a prop there. I'm not going to go up to it because that's got a solar cell up there. So I'm probably pushing it being in here even. But yeah, interesting that this is going to go. It's funny how they, I don't know why, but they tied it to the mall. It's really weird. You think they would have just said that? Nope, we're not going to do that. No, all these spools of wire thing. Spools. Yeah, that's interesting. All that stuff that's not connected anymore. I can see all the gas lines and stuff. Electrical. There's a trash compactor, low light right there. So, interesting. Interesting deal. Yep. So, yeah, so that's kind of interesting. Gonna go now. Oops. Here, one more perspective up here. There's that entrance now, right behind that pile. It's that entrance I have to keep recording, putting these videos from the second floor in the Sears. All right, there it is. But, yeah, it's like I said, it's a shame. There's the lower part right there. It's just interesting how it's in and out of the mall right there. These lower part, lower entrances. Yeah, I got some people moving in stuff in the store. Sorry about the noise. Yeah, it's crazy. On next part. Yeah, figure I get one more perspective over here before I go across the road. Across the street, pretty much. It's just interesting how people walked inside of this. What I think is also interesting is down here, right there at the bottom of that pile. A lot of people walked that. That was the entry. That's interesting because that's what's left of the entry. right there. Those two things right there is what's left of the part of outside the mall. And it's interesting. Right at the bottom, like I said, between those two things and the buyout and vibrant car in the middle of the screen, that was the floor, the lower part of the mall. Everybody walked. It was like over there. Interesting. Yeah, shame it's going away though. A lot of memories. A lot of memories. However, I get one more perspective. It's a little slightly different. So I think it's interesting now. This is the back part of a mall. Or what's left of it right there. Right in that area was the entry. Oh, wow, I did not notice that in the background with that light flash in different colors. Let me see. Yeah, that thing right about the middle. I didn't notice that before. Huh. What's weird is I'm looking on looking in like outside the camera. I can't see it from here. Yeah, the camera's always weird because I notice the things I'll see in the camera that I don't see in life itself. Like unless there's a flashing light over there, and I know what happens is the lighting, because of being LED lighting, a lot of times will flicker in cameras because the camera frame rate's different than the flickering of the light. So it might be that because I can't see it over here, but yet I can sure see it in the camera though. Oops. Yeah, that light right there. Yeah. So I think it's just because it's rainbowy. That is really rainbowy over there. Wind it right here again, like I always do. Oh no, wait, I got that one other part. That's right, I gotta go over there. Go to the valley, go over to that lower entrance. That's right, I'm not gonna end it here. That's interesting. So yeah, it's interesting. So from the other side, you can see those four top parts. Very top part of those yellow things from the other side. Long gone. Crazy. Yeah. So. But I think it's interesting how the wall still for the, how they have those two walls on the outside of this main entrance, which is really weird. Get that one more pretty cool. You can see in there. Yeah, so this is that back entrance where the whole thing started. Yeah, that's where the Metro stuff was. There's those things. See from the other side, probably. But yeah, that's pretty cool that you can see in there. Yeah, so this is interesting. I can bring it over here just to see the different deal. We walk it. Sorry about the shakiness, but yeah, we can see inside of there. Sorry about the shakiness, but I got walking doing this. I don't have a gimbal with me right now, but that is interesting that you can see through almost all the way through on that. That is so interesting. That was inside of a mall. Not anymore. Yep, so right there's the bottom of the Dillards. It's on the back of the side walls and stuff. And it's weird to see the remnants of where some like maybe shelving and stuff was. That's interesting. That's interesting that all these part of these walls were part of either some storage room or they were part of the inside of the store. Just covered. You see like that white section there, this white section over here, and then this other section's got that brown on top. But interesting. So I'll get one more perspective. It's interesting though. It's all going away. One thing I sit there and look at is like up here, all that tile work that somebody spent all that time doing. Or dog get tore down. And how long it took them to do all that, because those are little tiny tiles. That's just crazy. That is just crazy. It's like all the brickwork and all the work done that people did here. You know. Oh, I see. So the graffiti, I just caught it what it says. So somebody's playing around with spray cans, pretty much that work here, obviously, because it says right over here. I noticed this is live water right there. Live water, like, can you point anymore? Irish? Put neon sign up there too. Yeah, still think it'd be cool to go into it though. There's a little small freight entrance right there. And oh, so they got this cleared out. But the interesting thing is that concrete right there, millions of people walked that. because that was the floor for the Dillards. And it's funny, see that piece sticking up right there, part of the metal set up for the mall. I think they would have cut that off or something, but interesting. Now on perspective, so that's interesting. That's what's left of the Dillards. And of course they got that little, I don't know why they have that little section of wall there. That's really weird. Wow, that's not gone. It looks like pipes or something might be up there, but it's still weird. Do you think they get rid of it? I don't know. But on the next part, one final part. Oh shoot, and that'll be it. We're gonna get one more. I don't know if it's gonna be one more. I might do one more after this. So for one last perspective, that is just interesting that this was inside of the mall. It's really interesting. A little bit of skylight right there. All this metal and stuff. Still think it's interesting though. It's just kind of crazy, like that little top part right there. That's a wall. It's just left like this little wall, section of wall, which is weird. But yeah, so there was entrance. That's just crazy. There's another entrance right there. Wow. Other entrances going in and out of other parts of the mall. Crazy deal. Yeah, of course, it's kind of hard to see with the sign there in a way. Yep, saw them all there. It's crazy. This is the parking lot for the lower entryway. Crazy. Yeah. On next part. We're gonna do one more from right here, towards the end of that depot thing. Still interesting though. Really interesting right there, that little section of wall. Real interesting, right there in the middle, that little section of wall. It's just kind of hollow. But it's just crazy, it's all about gone. It's just interesting how that was inside of the mall. No skylight. Yeah, into the Dillards right there. You see the stairs there coming down from the outside. Yeah, I also think it's a shame that these companies kind of really mess themselves up by doing the by kind of just focus like Dillard's. I know Dillard's and Macy's used to be focused on like really rich people and pretty much the upper class, and then kind of 80s hit, and then they realized they can't do that anymore, so they kind of made their more where regular people go in the store, but prices were still a little high, and eventually they didn't keep with the times, and that's how it ended. Greed ends things too. Greed builds things, but greed ends things, and greed usually ends things more than it builds things. That's how it goes. This was Toys R Us. Yeah, so this place couldn't even make it. Yep. Too funny. And the curbing here, that's fantastic. Like, I was all piled up there. Oh, there's glass there, you get around that. Yep, interesting. This is all. Yep, we got the gate inside there. Wow, so this, cons, maybe they're going under. But I don't know, a ton of people buying furniture, though. That's the thing. Home furnishing. Home furnishings, I can't talk right. I don't know too many people that are doing it. They're like getting the whole house. And over here you got Grand Mart. I don't know what that down there. This used to be like a lamp place and an eyeglass place and all that. So I don't know.